We're even more excited, though, this afternoon because we've got an artist who we've never had on The Current before. She's born originally in Norway, grew up outside Bergen, and released her debut album in 2016, All My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend. It was a massive hit, especially in Europe and in the UK, where she toured with Of Monsters and Men from Iceland, in London, among others. And she did something really cool. She covered Oasis's Half the World Away and made a big hit out of that. So I'm really excited to get a chance to hear her perform. And we'll talk to her after we get a song from, I think, her new release, Infections of a Different Kind, Step 1. It's Aurora, ladies and gentlemen, live from Reykjavik. Aurora, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Iceland Airwaves Festival in downtown Reykjavik, and that was a song called Queendom, which is on Infections of a Different Kind, Step 1. First of all, Aurora, I want to congratulate you on the success of your debut. How was that for you?
It was nice.
Yes?
Yes.
What was the nicest thing about it? What was the best thing that happened for you out of that debut success?
Well, I guess it took me quite far, didn't it? It took me all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
It made my family a bit bigger, and I made new friends, my wonderful fans. I'm very close to them because they give me the opportunity to do what I do, of course.
Exactly.
But it gave me a lot. It was so nice the day it was done. No, it was horrible the day it was done, and I couldn't touch it anymore. And then we have to wait for 3 months, and then you can release it. So it's a very strange process. But the day it was released, I cried and I laughed. I was a bit hungover, I think. I was in a very pretty bed in England. It was white and warm. Yes.
That was the day that your new album came out, or the
My
debut?
first.
Debut.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to let it go.
Yeah.
So I could move on and make my next baby.
Which you did in France,
Yes.
apparently. Why did you go to France? Yeah.
Well, because I wanted the energy in the album to feel different. Because Norway is quite, mysterious and cold and stark, but very beautiful and fairy tale like, which I am very into, as you know. I was wearing this elf hat when I came in. It's very nice. Sorry, I forgot elf.
Why France?
Yes, so you can kind of hear on my first album that I was in Norway. Because it's very easy to hear, I think, if you listen quite closely to music where it was made. Because it's all about the place and how you feel in the place you are. And I wanted to go to a place where I felt a bit light on my feet, and where I felt different than I do from home, where I met new people, where I couldn't be reached by any of my family or friends, or I was kind of alone on a different planet, which I enjoyed.
And we all thought you were going to make a whole album, and then you decided this one's not quite the whole album. Is that because the songs didn't hold together as a whole album, or why did you make that decision to release Step 1?
I decided 2 months after I finished the album, I decided to split it up. It was quite a slow thing I decided to make. And I just thought that the world or some of us, not all of us, but some of us has less time.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I would like the people who really want to enjoy this album, I want them to really have time for this little piece. And I really enjoy having the opportunity to continue, because I threw away some songs, and now I'm making some new ones, so I have the chance to finish my story as the beginning of it is out with you guys. So it's a really special thing.
The beginning of it being Queendom, which you just played, where does that song come from, and what does it mean for you?
It is a very good opening to my whole to this universe because it's very much an invitation. And many people, I think, look at it, and some people are a bit scared by it because it's called queendom, and they say, "Are you going to be a feminist icon?" And some people don't like it. Some people like it a lot. And it's strange how scared people are of the word, or some people are scared of the word feminism. But of course, because it's about equality, and it's about equality for much more. Also, it's about, to understand children and believe them when they say they're ill or, nervous, or to listen to introverts and to put them equal to the people who are loud. And imagine if an introvert became the president. Imagine how much she would understand. The underdogs in the society. So I really love introverts and shy people. I'm also an introvert. And for, the women and the children and the men, whoever is a bit of an underdog in wherever they are. So it's about all of that.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know if you were aware of this, but Iceland Airwaves, I think, is the first festival on the planet to have 50%, at least 50% female artists performing at it.
It's really cool.
Is this your first time at Iceland Airwaves?
No, I actually played Iceland Airwaves 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I did. And now I'm back.
How many shows are you going to play?
Well, this, and we have another one tonight, and then one tomorrow at 1 a.m.
I hope you can see this face, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm looking sad.
We are.
Yes. It's really late for me. I like to go to bed at 11.
Me too. Well, we better get going. Is this how you perform when you do the big shows, or are you doing like a stripped-down version of your band? Do you have a full-on rock band playing with you?
Yes.
Yeah?
We are at times quite heavy. That's
Really?
why I have quite many heavy metal fans that say, I hate pop music, but I like you, they say. And
Nice.
But I have quite many. It depends what song. Like Under the Water, I have quite many heavy songs.
Good for you. Aurora, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have a couple of more songs. Murder Song, real quick. Why this one, and where's it from?
It's from my album, my first album. This is the acoustic version. It's very sad, but I'm very intrigued by murder. But this is a very specific story. It's actually a love story. It's very sad and horrible. Yeah,
That's it. Let the song speak for itself, ladies and gentlemen. It's Murder Song live from Reykjavik, Iceland Airways Festival, Aurora on the Current.